You want to see
No, you've said it, absolutely. They look sharp. This is 7, 8 competitive games for them now. That's what I always say to you, Matt. Half a dozen games is when you start feeling at peak fitness, I think, as a pro. You play all the pre-season minutes and those first few games of the season, but you're not really there until you played half a dozen games of competitive. So they'll be approaching that now. Chelsea players still short, but with the luxury of being able to make, quite a number of changes, it's looking doubtful now, isn't it?
Yeah. It is a mild evening in West London. Whether it's tops off weather, I'm not totally convinced. I guess if you live in Switzerland, maybe it is. So Chelsea with plenty to do here. What about Thomas Haberle, the coach of Servette? Is he now thinking back to that first leg against Braga, where they were delighted to come away with a goalless draw? And actually, might he be thinking, rather than trying to do that again and retreat back toward our own goal and protect what we've got, there's a goal in this game for us, the way the first half has gone. And actually, the better plan for Servette might be to keep attacking, and that could end up working in Chelsea's favour.
Yeah, I don't think they require any changes at all at this point. I think it will just be minimal tactical alterations and probably just saying don't get too excited. Keep your shape. Don't flood too many bodies forward. And then I would expect the tail end of the game, then they'll probably start thinking about the 0-0, and I'm sure then they'll probably start thinking about the 0-0, and I'm sure the substitutions would echo that. The coach will know when they're nearly there that 1-0 defeat tonight, if it was to get to the latter stages, and that'd be the worst case scenario, it's still a terrific result for them. So I wouldn't expect any change tactically now, but as the game wears on, they'll start thinking about securing things and getting away from West London tonight with a draw, which would be a terrific result.
Yeah, second leg is this time next week, actually slightly earlier kickoff of 7:30 UK time. For the six-match 36-team league phase of the competition takes place after the second leg. That's on the Friday. So all builds up to the final on the 28th of May of next year at the Stadion Wrocław. Group stage, by the way, doesn't start until October. It runs through until December. Just looking down at the Chelsea bench, Sam, if you can discount Bettinelli and Sanchez, who obviously are not going to come on unless something goes wrong with Philip Jorgensen. We've spoken about Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson, and they would be your obvious attacking changes. Nonny Madueke had a good pre-season too with a few goals. I just wondered about maybe Malo Gusto, given that Axel Disasi hasn't played at all in pre-season and is a centre-half by trade rather than a right-back. Might that be a way for Chelsea to get a bit more attacking impetus if they can get Gusto on into the game? We're seeing Madueke there, but Gusto is down below in front of us warming up as well.
Yeah, it's difficult in this shape, isn't it? Because he's going to become the nominal, right-sided centre-half. Gusto, the way that they're set up tonight, Chelsea, with Vega being the one that's tucked into midfield. So, yeah, I get your point. The distribution's been poor and a little bit conservative, I felt, from both fullbacks. Maybe understandably with Disasi, but Vega's a versatile customer. We know he's played a lot of football in midfield. He had that one beautiful diagonal from left to right. So I think in terms of distribution terms, it could improve Chelsea. I think they've lacked a little bit in fullback. But yeah, Gusto still looking at him as maybe being the one to go into midfield as well. So you may see that at one stage of the proceedings tonight. But it's certainly a studied substitute tonight. So wherever you turn, it's probably going to improve and have an impact. It's probably who requires the minutes still, which is the boring point, but I'm sure that's going to be factored in by the physio and that department as the game is maybe not going to be as important as the ones ahead.
Well, the likes of Jackson and Palmer are out there on the pitch warming up now, which would suggest that their arrival is not imminent. Chelsea, remember, it's Wolves away on Sunday, so that actually don't play a game between now and the second leg, which works in their favour. They came into this game, by the way, off the back of 7-1 winning the cup. They were playing against one of the regional or non-league as we call them sides in Switzerland, but they filled their boots then.
Someone was asking me, teacher what?
Not too far away here.
What
As
do
you can see Robert
women
Sanchez taking
want?
part in
What
the
do
warm-up
women
stand,
want?
isn't it? Using his feet.
What do women in
I was
Rwanda
going to say wouldn't have
want?
happened in your day, maybe toward the tail end of your career, but it's not something that you see very often, even in
Women, what do you
2024.
want?
No, a big part of it, and I spoke about it
Are
pre-match.
you a woman?
You know, Maresca
I
wants
will slap
the
you.
goalkeeper to be on
What do you
occasion a third
want?
centre half, providing that option to obviously be a
Money,
body
you want
when
money?
you're trying to beat
After
an opponent
money?
who's closing you down in numbers. So yeah, he's already touched on that in a
What?
presser during the summer. So that's going to be fundamental to the way they want to play. And it's, you know, this has been the shape and the style that we've anticipated and what we've obviously got a sneak preview of during the pre-season. And this is what I witnessed at Leicester last season. So there's been no surprise about the way the team set up tonight. It's just been a little one-dimensional at times, a little bit predictable. Huge onus, I think, on Dewsbury Hall
as they enter the
makers.
FC Bayern
We've seen
Munich
that Dewsbury
campus
Hall like
stadium.
wide to receive the ball, and on occasion, him and Nkunku have been able to get on enough effect.
As new.
I think it's key, really,
It's
that there's great
moving
movement
towards the box again.
and that players,
No
when
chance
they've
to
got the
defend this
opportunity to
player.
beat
Here's
their
the first
opposition
goal.
number,
It's
they're positive.
Michael
And
Olise.
those two things combined, I think, are imperative in this system. But
1-0.
yeah, this is what
to
I'm anticipating seeing for the majority of the season. There will be alterations for the the top sides, Manchester City and the like, that we saw on Sunday. But yeah, Chelsea are a work in progress in this system, which
after
Maresca obviously is devoted to.
Cole Palmer, incredible last season, 25 goals, 15 assists. And Sam, we should mention the PFA Young Player of the Year as crowned this week. A well-deserved honour.
It is Harry Kane
was
with the
truly
right
a breakout
season.
season. And let's not forget the finish with him becoming the first Englishman to score in a final on foreign soil.
Yeah, I probably thought it was going to subside, the form last season. And we were just absolutely treated, weren't we, up the top of the gantry. Some brilliant moments from him.
It's Olise. Just a phenomenal. Michael Olise. Really hard. So I think just
well, it doesn't look like there's going to be an immediate change from Chelsea at the start of the second half. As you can see, Servette are ready to come out for the second period here.
Here's Coman.
Last time they played an English club was 74-75 season. Derby County beat them 6-2 on aggregate in what was then the UEFA Cup. That was the year Derby were crowned champions.
Liner again.
Back in the Cup Winners' Cup, they went out 3-2 on aggregate to Liverpool. That was in 1972. They actually exited European competition at the top table at the hands of British opposition last term. Servette were beaten by Glasgow Rangers in qualifying for the Champions League. They're back out for the second half here, as are Chelsea, looking to make the breakthrough and looking for an improved performance, to be frank, as well. Because it was a little flat from the home side, still trying to find their rhythm under new management and at the start of a new campaign. So there was even one player who was warming up particularly more vigorously than anybody else. So maybe it is 10-15 minutes of what we started with. We'll see where we go from there. No changes from Servette by the look of things. So it's going to be Mark Guiu to get the second half underway. Chelsea kicking towards the Matthew Harding stand in the second half here. Looking for something positive to take to Switzerland next week. Servette, are they going to try and hold on to what they have? Or do they think that they can pinch a goal to take back home with them? New Shield. And that for Mudryk to be able to keep it in play. Finished last season in the team, Benoit Badiashile, after the final 7 games of the campaign. He's played in Europe before for Monaco. So Vega got his head to it. Here's Mudryk. Marched off the ball a little too easily. Vitessa, his foot in from Caicedo. That's what he's so good at. We have his pocket pick straight away by Cognac. He didn't get enough on his pass. I think he was able to find Mudryk and use his pace to get Chelsea over halfway. Get away from Tsunimoto. He's done well, Mudryk, riding the challenges, bringing Pedro Neto into play. Much better from Mykhailo Mudryk. Neto floats it in. Too much on that for Dewsbury Hall, though.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, that'll do Mudryk the world of good. Really good stuff. He's lacked that end product. His final ball's been sloppy on numerous occasions in the first half. So that was fantastic stuff. Recognised that Tsunimoto was able to keep up with him pace-wise or get back into a good defensive position. That little shift and pass, excellent.
I say that. Making a dart from Mudryk when he came backward to Badiashile. He's Tosin. Neto's got space right hand side if Chelsea can work it that way. And Nkunku. Neto. Trying to whip it in with his left that time. It didn't reach the penalty area. This is Maziku. Tessa. Dewsbury Hall, can he pinch this? Quite well done, Rouillet, although Dewsbury Hall's got it now. Just too much for Nkunku, is it? No, goalkeeper got a touch, had to be a penalty. Referee in no doubt. Rash from Jeremy Frick, who raced off his line to try and stop Christopher Nkunku. And the only way he could do it was by bringing him down.
He's in no doubt. And it's similar to that move in the first half. It's Dewsbury Hall once again the architect, and he's clearly going to get to the ball first, and Frick commits himself completely unnecessarily. He waits for the collision, doesn't he? He knows that the body of the goalkeeper is going to come into his legs, and it looks like a absolute stonewall penalty. Good play from Guiu. Got to say the squeeze from Chelsea there was really good. Went with a few bodies on the far side. Mudryk as well, closing. Ball broke favourably for Dewsbury Hall to play that lovely little pass.
Well, Christopher Nkunku has scored a penalty at Stamford Bridge. He scored in the shootout in the Cup against Newcastle here last season. Now he looks to put Chelsea ahead and get his first goal in European competition for the Blues. And he does! Smacked it in. Goalkeeper guessed right. But Christopher Nkunku got the power and the placement, which meant that Frick could only wave at it as it flew past him into the net. Breakthrough early into the second half for Chelsea. Christopher Nkunku makes it Chelsea 1, Servette 0.
Yeah, and he's got quite an interesting technique. He just starts quite centrally, couple of steps to the left, starts his run, and he's got such good technique and quality in that right boot. There's no doubt, really. It's firm, it's accurate, it's a perfect penalty.
Right in the corner. Well, last season was such a disappointment for all of us, but mainly for Christopher Nkunku because of his injury. In Chicago in the final pre-season game, it wrecked his season. He is the archetypal, he's going to be like a new signing type of player, and he showed his quality there.
Yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of good fortune or a mistake, and that's how it's come. I think the goalkeeper really poor there.
Didn't get so much as a booking. And Frick, and he had no chance with the penalty.
They're going to do so and just hold back, just be a little bit conservative, especially when the ball's going away from the goal. I know it must be so tempting to come out. You feel it's your domain. You feel like you have to dominate your 18-yard box.
Oh, Guillou! He's managed to win it back, and he's surely going to put it in for his first Chelsea goal. Maybe second time round. No, Mark Guillou. How's the fourth time lucky? It's the goalkeeper. Oh, he can't believe it. Let off the hook. And Guillou can't believe he hasn't scored. Here's Neto. Well, everybody in the ground, including Jeremy Frick, thought that was going to be 2-0. It really should have been. Frick got back and made the save, but he ought not to have been given the chance to. That's an Elba made the save, but he ought not to have been given the chance to.
That's an Elba terrible moment from the goalkeeper. And if that doesn't encapsulate Mark Guillou and his performances so far in a Chelsea shirt, in terms of the endeavour, I mean, the closing down, he's done that on 3 or 4 occasions since he's come to the club, and he gets his luck there for his hard work that he deserves, but then he just seemed to lose composure. I think he wants it so badly. You could tell he just tensed up at the vital moment. He didn't catch that initial one, and then it's just panic. He's just frantically trying to redeem for that initial poor effort.
Richard goes down. Referee thought about giving a free kick, then changed his mind. Jorgensen, cool as you like, under pressure from Cognac. Jeremy Frick could learn a thing or two from that. Dewsbury Hall. And Kunku. Space for Dewsbury Hall if he gets his head up here. Maybe he doesn't need it. Here is Dewsbury Hall. That's game too late. And Kunku's picked it up again though. That goal has put wind in Chelsea's sail.
Oh, what a waste. Great opportunity. That comes from Dewsbury Hall's initial pass. It just cuts through. Servette takes a couple of players out of the game. Here we go. Mark Guillou. It's brilliant. It's great, determined front play. Oh, the gap at the near post is huge for him to find. He just didn't catch it. Didn't get the direction or the purchase on his initial finish. That's the big chance then. They had goalkeeper back. They had defenders covering.
As a striker, how difficult is that to put out your mind until you score?
Well, I think it is, but he made it himself. It's not like it's been put on a plate by a teammate. So it's come from his hard work, his good play. But yeah, he won that first goal. I know he got one against Club America, but competitive action, get up and running.
Cognac. Chelsea don't want to give Servette any encouragement to get back into the tie. Vega loves that, geeing up the shed end after making the challenge. Zico. Shape on the cross, but straight onto the head of Tosin. Now Neto looking to lead the counter charge. Holding off Maziku. Brilliant from Pedro Neto. Equally good tempo from Severin. Do it. Stevanovic. There's Gutessa. Shot deflected. Renato Vega had to readjust it really well. And Mudryk so quick. He's trying to get away from his man. Hughes up there with him, and Kunku too. Crowd pouring on Mikhailo Mudryk here.
Labuan aja tak yang baru ini di barat. Kira bagi dari 15 barat. Oh, innovation. Kan?
Chelsea are going to make a change. They're going to make a double change. In fact, Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer both about to join the party. Here's Sunimoto into Badiashile, and then it bounced off Stevanovic and behind for a goal kick.
Sunimoto still up the pitch, not back in his right back berth, tracking Mudryk there. That was someone else's job, unfortunately for him. And that one was tricky for Mudryk, moving at such pace to execute that final ball would have been tough.
Triple change. Pedro Neto, the first to give way. Noni Madueke comes on for him. And Mark Guiu is also coming off. Everybody getting a really good hand as they give way here. Christopher Nkunku is the other player being withdrawn. Here comes the young player of the year. How about that elevation for Palmer?
It's an interesting change. If Palmer's going to play down the middle in place of Guiu, it means that they're probably not going to squeeze as aggressively without the ball. Not really going to have that threat in behind, but Palmer will provide another link, be really secure in possession. So maybe Enzo Maresca has just seen something. He just wants a little bit more of a platform to build off.
Madueke. Here's Fernandez. Sego has kept the captain's armband on. Fernandez arrival into the game. Zazie looking for the big switch, didn't get enough on it from Mudryk. Madueke. First chance for him to have a run and maybe have a shot as well. Blocked by Ziku. Mudryk. So you'll want more than one goal to take to Switzerland.
Yeah, that's bright from both wide players. Madueke coming in field, looking to bend it left-footed. The pass was on though.
Free kick taken quickly. Fernandez hit the shot. This is it. Fernandez ball in. We're trying to tee up Dewsbury Hall. Servette's challenge a bit too aggressive on Ziku.
Yeah, he did really well there. Palmer getting across the near post and getting hold of the ball for his team. This is a clear foul. I think knows what he's doing there, as Servette looked great, but all of a sudden the two centre-halves of Servette aren't really playing up against anyone. Palmer's going to go really deep when Chelsea have got the ball in possession around about the halfway and make little angles and come into pockets. And there, I think that was probably a product of that higher up the pitch. Centre-halves not marking anyone, not being able to feel anyone. Palmer just arrived on the scene, collected it, at the near post and was able to look to build with his Chelsea teammates. So, yeah, it's a different look to this Chelsea team, and I think partially it's looking at players that need minutes, but I think maybe given that it's Palmer rather than Jackson up there at the moment, something that Maresca's looked at and feels that could get them success in the remainder of this game.
Double change for Servette. Ravelli and Stevanovic off. Jeremy Guillemot, who previously played in Barcelona's academy for a little while. Alexis Antunes and the players who've come on. Leugue. Just over an hour gone. Onya. Deflection on the cross made it awkward. Tosin did well to get his head to it. Then did not pass yet. Guillemot trying to flick it back toward goal. He managed that, but he didn't manage to trouble Philip Jorgensen.
I've seen a couple of those this evening when the ball gets whipped in and gets that heavy touch at the near post. It turns into a really difficult ball to contend with for Chelsea's defenders. Them not looking for the little flick goalwards, but unable to get the purchase on it. Chelsea, in the main, really controlling this second half. Enzo Fernandez.
Bashyizemo Jackson akaba yibasiwe igihe iriya pase yayiboneye ariko Enzo yagiyemo kayise kazimyambaye
Modric. Was he fouled there? He's trying to go on. He asked the question of the referee. It's Renato Vega who's penalised. Mentioned right at the start of the show that they have played before, these two teams, since 1954, mind you. Ted Drake's Blues went over to Switzerland on FA Cup weekend after they'd been knocked out of the competition. Lost that 1-0. That follows a 2-0 win in 1946. Competitive meeting. So far it's going Chelsea's way, albeit here comes Servette. Contessa played it in.
That was a good opportunity. I've no idea why Antunes left that. Maybe he suggested he got a shout there. I think that's on his head. There's a decent ball in. Contessa swinging it in with his right foot, and that was on for Antunes, the substitute, just ahead or help on its way towards the far post, just ducked underneath it.
Alcedo. Here's Kutasa. So that has come back into the game in the last few minutes. Because of that, Chelsea in no rush to get the game going again. This is the moment that mattered. I'm sure Frick is replaying it in his mind. Always wave the finger like that, don't they, goalies, when they make an obvious foul?
I know it's almost, I think, human nature for a goalkeeper when there's a kind of pass like that on the angle and you've got a striker, forward player rushing onto it, to come out and try and smother it. Don't understand it. So I think it was Pepe Reina who was quite good at coming out and just shepherding, wasn't he? Must be something that they talk about and work on. But it just happens so frequently, and in a modern game in this day and age, you know, you're even getting those awarded if the player leaves the foot in and manufactures the contact. So they can't win, I don't think, especially there. Nkunku's not going to score, is he? All he's going to do is recycle the ball for the team and probably wait to cut it back to a teammate. So at the moment, looking like a costly mistake.
Bloody shield too. There's Antunes. Dewsbury Hall. He's been dispossessed. Could have forfeited this game to go. And then another 90 minutes at least next week. Changes being planned from the visitors. You see Julian von Moos scored a hat-trick in the cup win at the weekend at the next break in play. Just got a bit sloppy from Chelsea in the last few minutes. Here's Palmer, first chance for him to really get on the ball. So they hit that one for Mudryk as quick as he is.
Shame. First little bit of link up between Dewsbury Hall and Palmer. Not a difficult pass, expected him to find his target there, or just play it nicely, weighted into the space for Mudryk.
Double substitution actually here from the visitors. And it's also coming on. First of all, though, it is Julian von Moos. So deleting the two players who've gone off there. He's toasting. Just lost a bit of momentum since the changes, actually, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. Leugue had that one run, didn't he, early? Here he goes again.
All the way. Not too much on that, though.
Yeah, he's been impressive, I think. Left back. Mazuku, one of the toughest tasks you would suggest. Neto on his debut, and then Leugue, we know how direct he can be, but he's been sharp, he's quick, fullback, and he's been dogged in his defending.
Palmer.
It's
an obvious foul on Enzo Fernandez. Severin had the gall to complain about it. Pretty close to a sellout this evening, just under 38,000 in. All of the away end is not full, but maybe a seat to be had amongst the home contingent. Expect we might see Nicholas Jackson, Sam, maybe, if Chelsea want to push and get the second goal before too long.
Yeah, well, it gives him that option, having, obviously Palmer playing down the middle at the moment. Palmer can naturally drop into a different role. Dewsbury Hall would probably be the obvious one, would he not? To maybe get a little bit of a rest. And we could easily go and play in his role. Just don't know exactly where these players are, do we? In terms of their overall fitness, whether they're carrying niggles from the summer. Jackson, you would expect, would come right back into the reckoning for the weekend.
And two players over the corner here. It's in by Palmer. Frick got a glove to it. And skewed back to Palmer. Lovely touch. Also got to play down inside the penalty area here. Alto Vega. What's going on anyway?
Good defending. Was bright there, Buddy Shield. The run was a good one, but he stole the march on his opposite number there and just positioned himself really intelligent. Shepherding it back to the goalkeeper.
Saw the touch from Buddy Shield out straight to Magnon. All the way over to Cognac. Enzo Fernandez, his opposite number, bullies him off the ball. Dewsbury Hall. I say that. Enzo Fernandez. Managed to find Madueke. Now then, chance for a second goal here. Noni Madueke thumps it into the net. Wonderful finish from Madueke. And Chelsea have the second goal that they crave. Noni Madueke makes it Chelsea 2, Servette 0.
Brilliant goal. Amazing finish. Perfectly weighted from Enzo Fernandez in the build-up. It puts the fullback in real trouble. It's inch perfect. The run, the timing, the pass, it's all exquisite stuff. I think we spoke of this earlier on in the pre-season. He got that goal at Luton on his right foot, and I want him to do this more often. Like Kenilworth Road last season, lashed it into exactly that part of the goal, and he can do it. He becomes too predictable if he keeps coming in field. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. That's a brilliant strike. Smashes it into the roof of the net.
Well, that is a bit more breathing space. Feels, it's an obvious thing to say, but it feels a big difference, doesn't it, from 1-0 to 2-0?
Yeah.
Going into the second leg.
Yeah, and the game was stagnating, wasn't it? It was flat. It haven't looked like there was an equaliser on the horizon, but it's nice to get that cushion.
Could get better. Here's Palmer. He's driven it, Cole Palmer. Got everything behind it, but so did Frick.
Yeah, reminiscent of that goal against Manchester United, wasn't it? Just looking to fizz it into the bottom right-hand corner. You're expecting him to bend it. Tries to drill it, but not near enough the corner to seriously trouble for Frick.
Leugue is up here, even though Servette are playing on. Here comes Malo Gusto. Axel Disasi's done well to last this long, given how little football he has had. And get a breather for the closing stages. And for his debut in European club football comes Malo Gusto.
It'll be interesting to see how he sets up in this Chelsea formation. So you can go to right back, but with Vega being the one who's been tucking into midfield, that means, you know, Gusto will become a right-sided centre-half on occasions. We've more seen him being the one that's been instructed to go and join in the midfield. Kind of a more orthodox role for him at the weekend against Manchester City, so he's having to be flexible in the way that he sets up.
First contribution was to give it away, but Enzo Fernandez quickly got it back. There's Dewsbury Hall, really intelligent from him to flick it on first time to Mudryk. Got Palmer, Madueke and Enzo all up in support. Here's Palmer on to Madueke, maybe took it off Fernandez's toe. Madueke, brilliant. Fernandez, Dewsbury Hall, Mudryk can get the shot off.
Yeah, Shane, initial move, fantastic. I think you're right. I think Madueke took it off Enzo Fernandez when he was better positioned. And Madueke does brilliantly there to win it back. And then you're just hoping that nestles in the far corner, but it's a tired effort, dragged by Mudryk. I mean, Madueke's had a great impact tonight. It feels like he had a brilliant impact at the end of last season, continued it in pre-season. He's really unfortunate to have not been in the side on Sunday, but he can't be doing any more. He's giving the coach a problem, that's for sure, with the level of his performance and the amount of goals and assists, the impact he's having.
Opportunity here, though, maybe. There's a good ball in the end, and Caicedo was able to get it away. And the snapshot comes in from Gael Ondua, straight down the throat of Jorgensen.
I can't believe Willem has not opted to take that first time. That's comfortable. Jorgensen, the second opportunity, but that was on for the centre forward to poke goalwards.
That's a horrible pass from Gusto. Here's Gillum not again, and this time Jorgensen does have to make a proper save. Malo Gusto will go and pat him on the back.
Not going to turn down that second opportunity to strike. Doesn't catch it flush, but it's accurate. It's going to find the far corner, and it forces Wilkinson into quite a rare save tonight.
Inside the final 10 minutes. Fernandez is down and stricken at the moment. He's okay. It's not been total domination from Chelsea. 60% possession. 14 shots rather in total, 7 of them on target. So that a couple of decent opportunities in the first half, but really, by and large, have never really looked as though they're about to score. Chelsea could have had a couple more goals. That huge chance, the standout one. Lavia will come on for the closing stages. Take the place of the captain for the evening, Moises Caicedo. Here another making his European debut. Well, he's what you'd expect to be playing pretty much every week, isn't he, Caicedo? So he's getting a little bit of a breather now.
Yeah, hopefully that's just a little bit of muscle tightness or maybe a little whack that he suffered in his last little bit of involvement there. Again, another player I thought had a brilliant tail end to last season. Went a little under the radar, but hopefully he's going to continue to improve. And Lavia, I think, one of the standouts in pre-season. We've not seen him, have we? But from the outset of the US tour and on Sunday, yeah, one of the brightest sparks, I would say, of Chelsea's early weeks of the season.
Palmer. Is being withdrawn here by Servette. Ouattara will come on to take his place. It's an attacking change. Ouattara, striker on for the midfielder. Frick, we know he's got a rick in him. And the pressure from Palmer, he managed to get that away. And here's Ouattara, the new man. Gonna fancy a shot here. Oh, and he's hit the crossbar, my goodness me. Timoko Ouattara, via a deflection, almost halved the deficit.
Yeah, again, Ouattara's allowed to travel too far here. No one coming out to pressurise the Servette player, and then he gets a deflection, nearly sneaks underneath the crossbar. I mean, that would have been an awful way to concede. Yeah, I think Bennett Shields tracked towards a runner there, but there's players back there who could have stepped out and engaged.
And Moose with the corner. Oh, and a free header. Goodness me, that really ought to have been on target and probably a goal. And Chelsea have got away with a couple here. That was a big, big opportunity. It's one that's not been taken by Gael Ondua.
Just mistimed it, I think. Doesn't get the forehead clean enough on the ball. And this is by a distance in the end, but another good chance. 2-1 would be a completely different complexion on this tight.
Away goal's not a thing anymore, as we know, but being within one with the home leg to go will give them real belief. Three minutes plus add-ons left. Doing his best to try and unsettle the Servette defence. Renato Vega didn't deal with that. Here they come again. Well, the shot driven in, but it's a long way wide in the end. Just had a little nudge in the back from Vega there, did Von Moos.
Yeah, just losing his footing to a degree. That little shove was important, wasn't it? It was poor play from Vega, dispossessed, but he was just stumbling and just couldn't wrap his left foot around it.
Palmer, really clever use of his body, and his touch was heavy. Matara. Shields' header didn't get it away. Sunimoto put his foot in. Still plenty forward here for Servette. Just deflected behind for a corner.
Yeah, good endeavour. Carlo Mudryk. It's a little bit of a mess initially, but recovers really well. And Moose unable to deliver from the byline.
Just 6 minutes of stoppage time for some reason. Comes the corner, it goes all the way through and it should have gone in. What on earth is going on here? Marking completely non-existent, and somehow Jeremy Guillemot, who could have had 3 goals in the short time he's been on, was unable to turn that one in.
It's a sitter. Yeah, he sees it. I was going to try and help him out there by saying he saw it late, but I don't think he did. It was an awkward height, just doesn't get a firm enough contact onto the ball. It's a let-off. That's the biggest of the lot.
Gusto. Too long on him, Malo Gusto. Still plenty to put right here for Chelsea. Remember, Servette are well into their season. Chelsea still looking a little undercooked in just game number 2, which is understandable. Harrison going the no-nonsense route with his clearance. It's the first yellow card of the game. It's gone to Keenan Dewsbury Hall. Not really complain, can he?
No, possibly not. He caught the right back. Tsunomoto.
Firm, heavy clearance from Tosin. Tsunomoto. For Ouattara. Good defending from Gusto.
And again now, I think Ouattara just needs to get the fight of the ball there and try and finish first time, whether it's a header or a volley. As it's dropping, it's really difficult when you're moving at that pace with someone putting you under pressure to try and take it down. Goalkeeper's position as well, he's coming out. If you take that early there, it's only a favourite, but it's going to force Jorgensen into action. He's going to have to react quickly and smartly.
Javier. Smart ball to Dewsbury Hall. Palmer. Wrestled off it. Good challenge, Enzo Fernandez. Put it back from Madueke. Adia Shield. Couple of minutes to play now. Gusto's done well to get to that from Renato Vega. Here's Madueke. Gusto's carried on his run. Renato Vega. Rodriguez clipped. Dewsbury Hall. Fine Palmer with the pass.
It probably sums up his night, maybe Dewsbury Hall. Last minute or so, a lovely pass. Some of his initial approach play has been really good, but in the final third, not always come off for him. He'll get better though. He looks like just toiled the last 10 minutes or so, so probably feeling the effects of 18 minutes. He'll get better.
One last chance maybe for Servette. And he's shielding away. Moose has looked lively since he's come on. Clever ball, plenty forward here for Servette. Is this the moment for them? Great save, Jorgensen, to deny Guillemot. And that will surely be their last chance gone. but they ought to have scored. There is the final whistle. Well, Chelsea do have a lead to take to Switzerland next week. Goals in the second half from Christopher Nkunku from the penalty spot, and Noni Madueke have given Enzo Maresca his first win as head coach of Chelsea. But Servette will be left to rue his chances. Sam, last 5-10 minutes there, they should have had a goal, the Swiss side.
Yeah, a few scares, got a little bit sloppy late on. Jorgensen, I think we're really pleased to be involved latterly in the game. Got himself a clean sheet and he's contributed with a couple of big saves. I think it's probably just about the right result. Wasn't a great performance. Some big pluses, I think. Certainly Tosin came back in and showed he's more than capable of filling in there, no problem at all. Jorgensen, a couple of saves. Madueke, big plus. Coming on, continuing to affect games, and most important thing, comfortable position going into the second leg.
Certainly is. That's in Geneva a week from tonight, but the final score at Stamford Bridge was Chelsea 2, Servette 0.
And Harry Kane is there to bounce.
If you were going to give a player of the match, Sam, who would that be to?
So no, maybe Tosin, I think, which is
that calm head, wasn't he? Particularly as the game wore on there, a couple of just sort of no-nonsense clearances.
Yeah, it's maybe quite telling, isn't it? I don't think any of the forward players probably were consistent enough through the night.